All right, greetings. Welcome to the Pick a Card results for the week of March 29th through April 4th. You were to select from card group number 1, card group number 2, or card group number 3. When you comment your card selection down below by Monday, March 30th, you are automatically entered to win our March giveaway. And this is the last week to get your name in the hat to win our March giveaway. So make sure that you leave your card selection by the date. So, before we get into the opening intuitive message, I have a couple of very quick announcements. You can check the timestamp down below if you want to skip ahead to your results 1, 2, or 3. But I highly suggest that you do two things. You stay tuned to the announcements and you listen to the opening intuitive message, because I will be doing a bonus reading during the opening intuitive message. I have not looked yet at the bottom of this deck. Excuse me. So I will be doing a bonus reading during the opening intuitive message. And so what comes out in that bonus reading and what comes out during the opening intuitive message will give you further clarity and guidance on the cards that you selected here. All right. So very quickly, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm so thankful to all of my new and old, if you will. I don't want to say old. My those who've been riding with me from the beginning and those who have just recently been introduced to my page. Welcome. If this is your first time here, please make sure that you subscribe to my page and also give this video a thumbs up to like it, because that encourages me to continue to do this work here, and it also just helps my channel to grow. So those of you who have been riding with me for a while, you've probably noticed that some things have changed as far as what you see when you click on some of the links down below. All of my personal readings have been removed so that I could actually spend more of my time and my energy focus on those who have some very specific personal goals, spiritual goals, and even business goals. And so I will be announcing some new programs and new ways of, or new opportunities for you to work with me if you are seeking to transform any part of your life so that you can achieve your personal goals. And so stay tuned for those announcements on how to do that. Now, if you are only following me on YouTube here, then you're most likely going to be one of the last people to find out, because I only post here once, maybe twice a week. But so I highly encourage that you follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Those links are down below. But also, my email list just reopened last week and had been closed for probably over a year. And so I highly suggest that you actually get on my email list, because those are the people who really hear from me first. And when you do sign up for my email list, I will send you a new worksheet that I created called Astrology and Me. And it will help you to know exactly how your sun sign and your moon sign are working together to influence who you are. So if you're a sun sign Sagittarius, but you're a moon sign Gemini, what does that mean? If you're a sun sign Aries, but you're a moon sign Scorpio, what does that mean? And so that is a very useful tool to help you have deeper insight into who you are, because a lot of times people only know their sun signs, and even with that, sometimes people don't really know what that means. And so the Astrology and Me will help you to really have a deeper understanding of both your sun and moon and how they're working together. So make sure you get on my email list so that you can get that worksheet absolutely free. And that's it. That's it for my announcements this week. So we will go ahead and get into the opening intuitive message. Oh, my last announcement that I usually make is, if you appreciate the work that I do here and you want to leave a love offering, or you want to leave a love offering, which is a fancy word for donation, but if you want to support this free work that I do here on YouTube, there's a way to do that down below. There's a link to leave a love offering to me in appreciation of this work. So if you feel so inclined to do so, just click down in the description box and you will see the links to do that there. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the opening intuitive message. So as I was preparing for this week's pick a card, there were several things on my mind. One of the most obvious, which I'm sure is on a lot of people's minds, is the things that are going on globally right now. We are still hearing about this pandemic. There are still people who are suffering from that, and by and large, most societies, most people in general, are having to rearrange their lives, having to reorganize their lives, and just try to figure things out. As we shift from a lot of people going to the workplace to now having to work at home in order to keep people safe, and schools being closed in order to keep the children healthy and safe, and people needing to stock up and get supplies because you just don't know how long voluntary or mandated quarantine will go on. And so it really is just a lot of change that's happening right now. A lot of change that's happening right now. And it's very interesting that it is even happening during Aries season, a time of when we are all feeling the fiery energy of Aries. Like Aries is very action oriented and driven and ambitious and taking initiative. And I always have my videos of everybody's fill in the blank, including you, zodiac sign. And so the last one was everybody's a Pisces, including you. And so the one I will be doing soon is everybody is an Aries, including you. Because the sign Aries is somewhere in your birth chart. You might not be a sun sign Aries, like you might not have been born during this time, but Aries is in everybody's birth chart. And wherever Aries is in your birth chart is where you feel the most inclination to being ambitious or driven in your life, or even impulsive in some ways. And so collectively, we are all in Aries season. So we're all feeling, at the same time that some people are feeling this fear and this worry and this anxiety about what's happening, there's also this very distinct desire to stay empowered, to make sure you're taken care of. And that can show up in two different ways. If you're using the higher end of this Aries energy, then it means taking initiative to make sure you're taken care of in your family, creating plans so that everybody is taken care of, and everybody has what they need. If you're functioning out the low end of that, then you're probably impulsive. You're probably someone who is buying more than you actually need out of fear. You might be arguing with people about why things are happening the way they're happening. You might be acting out of impulse and anger. So that's up to you to decide how this is showing up in your life. But either way, we are in a time that requires us to understand our power and to understand what is actually driving us. Are we being driven by what is empowering us, or are we being driven by our fears? Are we actually walking in a state of empowerment, or are we just walking in aggressive fear? Because sometimes that aggression, we mistake that for power, when it's really just us operating from a state of fear, right? So for those of you who don't know, I am a member of an organization called the Greensboro Kwanzaa Collective. And what we do is every year, at the end of the year, from December 26th through January 1st, we put on a citywide more than city, because we get people from everywhere, but we put on a citywide Kwanzaa celebration. And Kwanzaa is one of those celebrations that oftentimes is very misunderstood. First of all, it comes after Christmas, It occurs right and during New Year, and and sometimes people are afraid because they're like, well, if I celebrate Kwanzaa, does that mean that I'm not celebrating Christmas? Is it a replacement? And it's not. But Kwanzaa is really a celebration that comes at the end of the year for having lived what is known as the Nguzo Saba, or the seven principles. And so there are seven principles to Kwanzaa that we are all encouraged to live throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, from December 26th through January 1st, we celebrate having lived those principles. And so those principles are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. And so, what I and my sisters of the Greensboro Kwanzaa Collective have been doing on our Facebook page is that we have been going live to talk about how we can all be utilizing these seven principles right now to empower ourselves through this global pandemic. And so that is also kind of what this whole pick a card reading itself is about. How do you utilize tools that you already have in order to thrive and survive, more than survive, but actually thrive during this time? Because a lot of times we have useful tools, but we don't use them, right? So in the case with Kwanzaa and the seven principles, a lot of times people only think of those seven principles during Kwanzaa, right? They only think about those seven principles during the celebration. But really those seven principles are designed to help you to live in a healthy, whole, strong, empowered, full of vitality, and unified way throughout the year. So imagine those of you, for example, who are married. Imagine if you only thought about your marriage on your anniversary, right? But the other 364 days of the year you didn't. Then you probably wouldn't have a strong marriage, And likewise with Kwanzaa, if we only think about the principles of unity or faith or being responsible or building a strong economy only during Kwanzaa season, then the rest of the year we would struggle. If you only thought about the tools that you have during the times when you are being celebrated for them, but you don't actually use those tools through the good and the bad times, then you are not empowering yourself. So that is ultimately what I'm saying here, is that it's so important for us to look at the things that we have, look at the things that some of us talk a really good game about things, right? I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and, it's all about this, it's all about that. But when it comes down to, to the wire, when it comes down to, putting your money where your mouth is, we back away. We don't know what to do. We act in fear. We forget that, the structure. We descend into chaos, right? And so this is the time where we're all being challenged. And even through this reading, I am further challenging all of us to really look at the tools that we already have and ask ourselves, how can we use them to rise to the occasion? How can we use them to be empowered? How can we use them to empower ourselves? And so that is what this week's pick a card is all about. If you're interested in seeing our live videos on for the Greensboro Kwanzaa Collective, I will put the link down below. We're at facebook.com/GSO Kwanzaa Collective, and that's just one way that we can be empowered in terms of using those seven principles. But there's so many other tools that we all have. And I encourage you to look at the tools that you have, the things that you say that you live and govern your life by, and ask yourself, are you actually using them for your highest good at this time? But if you want to see the live videos that we're doing there, definitely click that link down below and visit our page and just scroll back, and you can watch the videos that we've been doing over the past few days. And so the bonus reading for this week, let's see what's at the bottom of this deck. Wow, okay. Unfinished business. All right, so unfinished business. When I see this card, excuse me, unfinished symphony, but it does indicate that there is some business, some things that needs to be taken care of, that we might be overlooking and not handling. And before we can advance to the next level, it's important to finish the level that we're on. And so let me read the information that comes with this card. Unfinished symphony. Unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, the need to make amends. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. The relationship message says, moving on is difficult when love lingers. Things are left unsaid and you haven't had the opportunity for closure in your relationship and in your heart. You can still feel bound up in relationships when closure is denied you. It's important to achieve this for yourself. Write a letter, make that call, or have that conversation over a cup of coffee. For peace of mind, accept matters as they are. Make amends if need be and declare your feelings, even if only to yourself. Be clear about what is left unresolved and close the door on the past so you can set yourself free. Only then can new love blossom. And the prosperity message says, make sure you complete projects now before starting new ones. Perhaps you have created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and bring you opportunities for wealth. However, if you don't see it through, it won't add up to anything but more clutter. Now's the time to put your nose to the grindstone and complete the tasks that have accumulated. Pay your bills, sign the documents, do your filing, hand in an assignment, complete a work of art. Tie up loose ends so you can move forward with surety, knowing you're on the prosperous path and feeling refreshed and excited about the future. Wow, that is so on point when I think about what is happening even right now. If you're watching me in the United States, you know that they just passed, I believe, some kind of bill to help people financially right now because of so many people losing their jobs or not being able to go to work. And so one of the things to do to from my understanding to receive that the finances is to file taxes, and we are currently in tax season. And so this is not the time to drag your feet on things that need to be completed, things that need to be done, things that need to be cleaned up, relationships that need to be resolved or get closure on. Whatever your next breakthrough or your next level up or your next opportunity is on the other side of you finishing up, wrapping up whatever is going on right now. All right, so that is our bonus reading for this week. Again, make sure that you comment your card selection down below by March 30th, Monday, March 30th, if you want to be in the running to win our March giveaway. Comment, leave any other kind of comment if you want, how to share with me how these readings are benefiting you, and then leave a love offering. Make sure you click down below if you're interested in watching those live videos from the Greensboro Kwanzaa Collective on how to use the 7 principles during this time, and then make sure you also click down below to get on my mailing list so that you can receive the Astrology and Me worksheet. All right, so card group number 1, your reading is up next. All right, greetings and welcome to the results for card group number 1. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure that you comment your card selection down below by Monday, March 30th if you want to be in the running to win our March giveaway. This is the last week to get your name in the hat to win the March giveaway, so make sure you do that if you are interested. Make sure you click down below to get on my email list that just opened a few days ago. And when you do, you will get a copy of my new worksheet, Astrology and Me, that helps you to know how to use your sun and moon sign, or know what your sun and moon signs mean and how they are working together to influence who you are. Be on the lookout. Once you do get on my email list, I will be sending you notifications on how you can actually work more closely with me. Those of you who have some very specific spiritual or personal or even business goals, on how I can help you to make those transformations. Make sure you are following me on Instagram and Facebook, because I post there several times a week. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel, y'all. Thank you to everybody who's been subscribing. I so appreciate that. And like this video, because that helps my channel. And then also leave a love offering. That link is down below. If you feel so inclined, a love offering is basically just a donation in support of this channel. No donation is too small or too big. It's just about you showing your appreciation for this work. All right, and also lastly, if you skipped ahead and you missed the opening intuitive message, make sure you rewind back to the first few minutes of this entire video and listen to the opening intuitive message, because I also did a bonus reading there. And some of the other insights that I share in that message will help you have a deeper understanding of the cards you've selected here. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. This week, we are actually looking at how to not so much just step into more of your power, but really how to utilize what you already have to empower yourself at this time. This season that we're in right now and what we are experiencing globally is a time for everybody to really step into their power. It's time to rise to the occasion. And a lot of times we think that means finding something that's outside of ourselves, but it's really about all of the stuff that you say that you're about, everything that you say that you are, everything that previously you said, oh, this has helped me, or this is what I'm about, and whatnot. This is the time to actually rise up to that standard and to live by that. And so let's go ahead and get into it. Selenite is a stone that is at the top of your deck, and I just have a white candle. Usually a white candle is lit when you are maybe in honor of your ancestors, or needing to bring about peace of mind, clarity of mind, serenity, peace. It's really a good candle to be lit, or color, if you think it in terms of color, to be used at that time, especially like if you're in times of prayer, to God, to your higher, to the Most High, to your ancestors, or however you practice. A white candle is usually used for that. And then the stone selenite is one of those stones that really does help to connect you to the spiritual side of yourself, or to divinity, so that you can be in tune with that aspect. You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily for grounding per se. It's more so like if you need to receive spiritual messages, you need to hear. Now it is powerful, so sometimes, like, if you sleep with this stone under your pillow, your dreams can be, if you're someone who dreams, your dreams can really kind of get otherworldly. But if you have a clear intention, a clear prayer that you're asking for wisdom and guidance for, selenite is really good for that. So let's see what cards came up for you. The one on the bottom is your general wisdom, or where you are now. The card that crosses it lets you know it can help or influence you at this time. And you receive the Queen of Pentacles, and she is crossed by the Page of Wands. The Queen of Pentacles, and she is crossed by the Page of Wands. This is very interesting. Because I just said this is the selenite is not so much about grounding, but about spiritual messages. But the Queen of Pentacles is very much about grounding. So this might actually be a time for you to use your prayer life, your meditation life, your spiritual self, in order to understand how to ground your physical self at this time. What I'm feeling is that for a lot of you, because this week we are specifically looking at really coming into that power that is within you, a lot of you have useful tools within you. A lot of you have useful tools within you And some of you maybe even have some spiritual gifts, and you are not connecting your spiritual gifts with practicality. It's like it has to be either or. Either you're totally, deep and spiritual and, feeling or intuitive, or however you define that for yourself, or you're very practical and down to earth and taking care of business and taking care of things that need to be done in the here and now in the practical sense. But marrying the two is very important. It's what you gain from spirit that helps you to know what to do in the physical world. The Queen of Pentacles is the queen of, the natural world of physical resources, of your money, of your food, of your home, anything that you are physically responsible for, even your car, your bills, all of those sorts of things. And when the Queen of Pentacles appears, she is reminding you that this is a time to manage your resources very, very wisely. Okay, so I just cannot overemphasize, because this week's pick a card is a slightly different but still in the same vein as last week. Last week we were talking about stepping into your power, or being empowered during this time that we're experiencing this global pandemic. But right now, this week, we are looking at how to really use what you already have. That what I'm feeling is like again, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but a lot of times we say, oh, this is how I live my life, these are the rules I live by, or I'm trusting in God, or I live by these principles, or I know if times got rough I would do this, and this. But then when the time comes, do we actually do it? Right? Do we actually do it? And so the Queen of Pentacles is like, it's time to actually do it. If we know, or if you know that there are some global shifts happening right now, now is the time to get your money in order. Now is the time to not ignore certain bills. Now is the time to, at least, even if you don't have the money for certain things just yet, go ahead and make a plan as though you do have it. Where look at your budget and say, okay, 20% needs to go here, 25% needs to go here, 15% needs to go there. So it's about being very practical, I feel, for some of you. And I feel that for some of you, especially because with this white candle and the selenite, with that really representing the spiritual aspect of life, that even in your prayers, even in your meditations, even in you seeking your higher self or God, that power is only going to redirect you to what you should be doing. It's almost like I'm feeling like when a child goes to their parent and they're like, I don't understand, I want to go outside and play, and I want to, or get on my video game, I want to do whatever, and the parent just keeps redirecting them to, well, did you do your homework? Did you clean your room? Did you, like real basic stuff. And so I feel like for a lot of people, you are empowered when you do the basics. When you do whatever the basics are for you is when, or how you will come into yourself, how you will be empowered. Because again, this week is about looking at what you already have and using it and doing it, and doing what you already should be doing. With the Queen of Pentacles being crossed by the Page of Wands, I like this card. Look at him smiling, like almost mischievous, like. But the Page of Wands is really, it kind of speaks to this Aries energy that we're in. The wands are fiery. The wands represent power, ambition, drive, taking action. But the Page of Wands is youthful. He's, he doesn't know everything to do or the right way to do it, but hey, he's willing to try, And so likewise, you might not know everything, this is a new time for everyone, so you don't know how to function during this time, but have fun with it. Look, he's having fun. What's the he's really thinking, what's the worst that can happen? He's not afraid of what people are saying, or he's not even considering that he doesn't have the power to to endure, to make it through. The Page of Wands is like, have you ever seen like one of those, like a kid that you see like climbing a tree or doing all these crazy flips, and you're like, oh my god, no, 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 you're gonna fall, you're gonna hurt yourself. And but the kid is like not even scared. They climb a tree and they jump down off the highest limb. They do the craziest things, or they ride their bike down a hill, and you're like, oh no. But they're okay with it. They're not afraid. That is what the Page of Wands is. The Page of Wands reminds you that this is the time to really test your strength, to test your power, to see what you can endure, to believe in yourself, to have confidence, to not be afraid, to not be fearful, but to be courageous. And so it's very interesting that it's almost like you have all three going on here. You've got spirit, you got mama, and you got the child, but they're all working within you. Get spiritual guidance. Be like the mama who makes plans, organizes, gets the house in order, gets your bills in order, make sure you got enough food or whatever. And then whatever you need to be courageous about, that you think that you can't be, or that you think you don't have enough strength to do, just know that you do. Know that you do. This week is about everybody rising to the occasion, rising and stepping into the power that is already dwelling within them innately. And so that is what they are reminding you of. So the goddess that is speaking to you this week, Mama Keela. Mama Keela, wow, the moon. Wow. I'm going to read the message that she has for you, and I'm going to read two messages. The first is her empowerment message, and the second is her alignment message. So, Mama Keela's empowerment message to you is, Mama Keela, the Incan goddess of the moon, presides over the power of cycles and seasons. The moon rules the night sky, returning full 13 times in a year. The ancients marked time by the moon to know when to plant, when to harvest, when to store food, and when to celebrate fertility. Right now, you are invited to see what is familiar and decide whether you need to improve on it or leave things as they are. The answer to your inquiry can be found in the timing of things and the cycle you're in. You can apply the idea of natural cycles to relationships, creative projects, personal growth, and more. If you are honest with yourself, you will see there is no way to control these cycles, only to use the creative energy they offer to help you. If your relationship is unclear yet brimming with potential, you might turn to the new moon energy that shows up in the spring cycle of life. In that case, you just need to allow the relationship to grow naturally and be clear in your intentions. When your outer world seems to be slowing down, with obstacles rising up and temporarily blocking your every move, do not put up resistance. Instead, take advantage of the need to rest and recalibrate your intentions as you wait for the cycle to change. No matter what, like the cycles of the moon, there is divine order in everything that is happening in your life right now. Once you know this, the goddess Mama Keela welcomes you to her divine moon dance of co-creation. Wow. And her alignment message to you is, sometimes you feel out of sync with life, frustrated that the universe isn't providing you with what you desire. Do you want what you want, exactly how you want it, when you want it, and feel like the great goddess is ignoring you? You may be wanting something to happen faster than it's meant to occur. Remember, the conditions of your life are temporal and ever changing. Maybe you've just been unaware of the cycle you're in, and so you've been missing the signals. The moon goddess Mama Keela knows the cycle intimately, and she'll let you know when it's time for the next phase. Mama Keela is always on track with the cycles of creation, and you must trust this wisdom. Her alignment task for you is to recognize and work with the natural cycle you are in. You will be amazed as alignment with the rhythm of the universe allows you to once again co-create consciously and surrender to life on life's terms. What a beautiful dance when Mama Keela offers you her support. Wow. So in a nutshell, when this goddess appears, she represents cycles. Just like the moon never looks the same every day, and within a 28-day cycle, it is gone from new to full and back down to, invisible and new. we are in, you are in, a cycle. That's the cycles of life. And sometimes you're in a abundance, peaceful, joyous cycle, and sometimes you may find yourself in a challenging cycle. So when you know what cycle you're in, then you will know what to do. And this is why I even do my videos, like everybody's a Pisces, including you. Everybody's in Aquarius, including you. And right now I need to do everybody's in Aries, including you. Because, you are not just your sun or your moon sign. You have all 12 signs of the zodiac within your birth chart, literally. And so knowing what season and what cycle you are in helps you to know what to do. If we're in an Aries cycle right now, a time of ambition, of drive, of power, are you going to use your power to increase your anger and impulsiveness and fear? Are you going to act out in a fearful way, or are you going to act in a way of power, of clarity, of utilizing your own power within you to step fully into your own power? Basically, are you going to utilize the tools that you already have to empower yourself? That's what it's really all about. So knowing what cycle you're in, looking at the cycle, the Queen of Pentacles says, okay, what needs to be done in a cycle, in a time when people are panicking because of a pandemic? You do what's necessary. You take care of yourself. You keep yourself healthy. You make provisions. You don't worry and stress. You don't panic. And you do so knowing your own strength and knowing that everything will be okay. Will be okay. You don't. This is new. So some of you are newly stepping into your power. Some of you, this is your first time actually being called to actually demonstrate the power that you claim to have. All right. So that is what this week is all about. That is your reading for March 29th through April 4th. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday, March 30th. If you want to be in the running to win our March giveaway, subscribe to this channel, like this video, go back and listen to the opening intuitive message so that you can get that bonus reading. Listen to this reading throughout the week, because something I said here today can actually make more sense to you as the week goes on. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, leave a love offering, and get on my email list so you can get that Astrology and Me workshop. All right? I mean worksheet, not workshop. So until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. Well, hello there and welcome to the results for card group number 2. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure that you comment your card selection down below by Monday, March 30th if you want to be in the running to win our March giveaway. This is the last week to get your name in the hat to win the March giveaway, so you want to make sure that you do that by March 30th. Also, make sure that you click the link in the description box to get on my email list. It is finally opened after being closed for over a year. And so when you get on that list, I will send you for free my Astrology and Me worksheet. And that worksheet helps you to have a deeper understanding of your sun and your moon signs and how they are working together to create who you are and influence who you are. And so if you're someone who's just wanting to have a deeper understanding of your sun sign or your moon sign or how they're working together, make sure you get on my email list and you will get immediate access to that worksheet for free. Also, once you're on my email list, I will soon be sending out announcements there on how to work more closely with me. If you notice, I have taken down all of my personal readings right now. You cannot book a personal reading with me, but I will be working more closely with people who want to transform their lives or, reach their spiritual, personal goals, or just overall personal goals or business goals. And so I'll be sending out information on how to do that very soon. And then lastly, make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Facebook, because if you only follow me on YouTube, you're missing out on a lot. So I share a lot over there on those pages. How to access that is down below in the description box. Click those links there. And then make sure you subscribe to this channel. Thank you to everybody who is already subscribed. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up, because it really helps my channel. And then consider leaving a love offering, also known as a donation. The link to do that is down below. And no donation is too small or too big. It's really just about you showing your appreciation for this work. All right, so you've got a red candle and you've got a red jasper. So red is a very powerful color. Is a color of passion, of love in some ways, but really more so the passionate side, the fiery side. And with us being even in Aries season, and I've really got to film the video. Everybody's in Aries, including you, because whether you're an Aries sun sign or not, we all have Aries somewhere in our birth charts. And Aries is a fire sign. It's the first sign of the zodiac. It is a fire sign that represents drive and ambition and taking initiative, on its higher polarity. But on its lower polarity or energy, it represents acting aggressively and impulsively and even out of anger. So, which end of that spectrum are you going to be on is up to you. So usually a red candle is lit when you need to add fire to any element of your life. Like if you want more action to take place in your business, like if your business has been sluggish, then you would light a red candle. If you're needing to add more passion to your love relationship, then a red candle is lit. Anything you need to add some fire to, some heat, some passion, some movement, is usually when you would light a red candle. And the stone that you have here is a red jasper. And jasper is really about helping you to add, power to your life. It's about helping you to boost your creativity, helping you to strengthen. It can strengthen you on a mental level. It can help you to overcome stressful conditions. It can ground you, give you grounding, and help to balance your emotions. And so this stone has jasper itself has so many useful uses, and then this red jasper here also has so many uses. So what I always tell you to do. If you want to know more, make sure that you Google red jasper. Also, I forgot to mention that you really should, I highly encourage that if you did skip ahead, that you go back and listen to the opening intuitive message, because what I shared there will help you have a deeper understanding of what I'm about to share here. And I did a bonus reading in the opening intuitive message, and you don't want to miss that. So make sure that after you listen to this, you rewind the video back to somewhere in the first few minutes, or the timestamp is down below, so you'll see that down there, and watch the opening intuitive message. All right, so the card on the bottom is your general wisdom or where you are now. The card that crosses it helps you to know what can help or hinder you at this time. So, wands. The wands are definitely fire energy. 9 of Wands, and it is crossed by the 5 of Wands. Ooh, yeah, okay. The 9 of Wands, and it is crossed by the 5 of Wands. Now, I will remind you that this week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of at this time, so that you can actually step fully into your power. You can step confidently into your power. You can rise to the occasion of everything that's going on right now. And you can recognize the tools that you already have and the power that's already within you and make good use of it, which it looks like you all will be needing to do, because the 9 of Wands is about when you have to really stand strong in your power. The 9 of Wands, when I see this card, it can represent standing up in the face of challenge, standing up in the face of opposition and not being moved, not being knocked down by challenges. These challenges can come from other people. These challenges can come from circumstances in life. And I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. This card appeared for someone, and I said that it reminds me of that song. I think Donnie McClurkin sings it, "We fall down, but we get up." It's the person who gets up and stands strong, right? Like no matter how many times you're knocked down, no matter how many obstacles you face, no matter how many challenges come your way, it's about still standing strong and standing firm and not being moved, and not being afraid, and just knowing that the power that is within you is stronger and greater than any power outside of yourself. And so this is a week where many of you may If you haven't, you may have to really come into your own power and stand strong and stand firm and know, oh, I will not be knocked down. This thing will not take me out. This person will not knock me off my game. This challenge will not be the reason that, I fail. I will stand strong and empowered. And the wands themselves, again, I think I already said, represent your ambitions, your drive, your initiative, your motivation. So this will be a great week for you to ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Why do you believe what you believe? Why are you standing strong? Why did you come this far? Why did you work so hard? Why did you believe as much as you did believe? Basically ask yourself, what is driving me? What is motivating me? What inspires me? What encourages me? When all else fails, what keeps me strong? That is what you have to know. That is what you have to be very, very clear of this week, because this card is crossed by the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands is a card of chaos. it is a card of challenge. It is a card of sometimes even arguments and contentiousness and tension and pettiness and cattiness. You might be experiencing that from other people, where it's like everybody wants to be in charge. Everybody wants to tell you what to do. Everybody has different ideas and they're all empowered to act on them. And so then it just adds to the chaos instead of creating solution. So you might be feeling that this week, or you might be encountering that this week from other people, or you might just be experiencing that because, everything that's going on globally just seems so chaotic and all over the place, and it's just a lot going on. So either way, this is something that is occurring. And so at the same time, you have to stand strong. The only way to stand strong is to know your strength. In the opening intuitive message, I shared about how I am a member of the Greensboro Kwanzaa Collective, and this week on our Facebook page, we have, for those of you who are not familiar, Kwanzaa, a lot of times, people just view it as an end of year celebration, but Kwanzaa has 7 principles that we are to live our lives by. And the celebration at the end of the year is just to celebrate having lived those principles throughout the year. And so we are doing these live videos to encourage people on how to use each one of those 7 principles right now in the midst of global chaos and confusion and economic whatevers and sickness and pandemic and everything. How do these principles that we say we live by, how do we use them in real terms, in real practical time? And so likewise, the principles that you say that you live by, that you claim, you stand firm in, this is the time that you've actually got to do it. You can't just talk about it. You actually have to be about it in the face of chaos, in the face of confusion, in the face of, tension or contentiousness or, pettiness or just people or situations you feeling like they're coming for you. You've got to stand strong. What I will add to this is that you ask yourself, what within me is helping me to stand strong? Because if you all this fire energy, gosh, and you know what, this red candle was gonna go over here, but as I was laying the cards down, it ended up here. Everything's meant to be. So as you are having to feel that fire, you don't want to burn out though. So that's the underside to all of that, because sometimes even the Nine of Wands, even though this card is helpful, it's about standing strong in the face of challenges and standing in your own power. Sometimes it can lead one, it can indicate that you might become someone who feels like everybody's against you and that you got to stand up against everybody, and it can create a kind of paranoia, like you feel like everybody's out to get you, everything is trying to bring you down, and that's not a powerful place to be. Actually, that's a place that will burn you out and drain you and cause you to never love and to never trust. So as you're standing strong, make sure that you're standing strong in an authentic power that helps you to grow, that helps you to that doesn't put you in a place of total resentment and fear of ever trusting or ever loving or ever trying anything ever again. Because the flip side of this is just where you put walls up and you become a bitter person. You know, you don't want to be that. You just want to stand strong and stand firm. So the goddess that has come forth for you today is, wow, Danu, I believe is how you pronounce her name. Danu. And she represents assurance. So I'm going to read two messages that she has for you. The first one is her empowerment message to empower you at this time. And the second one is her alignment message, just in case you find yourself out of alignment. So the wisdom that Danu has for you is: the appearance of the Celtic earth goddess Danu, who gave birth to magic, portends the fulfillment of your desires and the fruition of your dreams. Whatever it is that you're inquiring about, Danu gives her assurance that you're in the process of becoming. Now is the time to trust that whatever you have planned, and worked toward is being lovingly birthed. All you need to do is stay with the flow of events and be ready for your next opportunity. Everything has its perfect season. Just as fallow ground carries the promise of new life that appears again in the spring, as if magically bidden from the invisible to the visible, Danu offers her promise of grounded assurance. And her alignment message says, there are days when you wonder if you're on the right track, if your dreams are valid, if you have what it takes to show up and shine. You may have hit a dry spell where it appears that nothing is happening, and it makes you doubt yourself. When this earth goddess appears, she is reminding you of the promise of new life. Just as fields are often left purposely fallow, perhaps this seeming dry spell of yours is really a preparation time. Under the ground of your visible life lies a stream of abundance that is feeding the roots of the seedlings of your intentions planted in your field of dreams. Go about your day-to-day life with faith. Danu assures you that the form of your desires will show up in divine timing, in an even more magical way than you could have imagined. Wow. So she is assuring you, or the appearance of this goddess is a sign to remind you to stay assured, to stay, to stay strong, even as it appears that nothing may be happening, or even as it appears that your challenges are greater than your dreams. To continue to believe in your dreams, to continue to stand strong, to continue to know that that things are happening for you. And I want to say this too, whenever I see a 9, like the 9 of Wands, the 9 does indicate an end of a cycle. It does indicate change is coming, change is on the horizon. It's just a matter of you standing still, strong enough, in full faith and confidence as that change is happening. Because after the 9 is 10, and 10 goes back to 1, So some of you are standing strong here, and you might have one more challenge, one more of this 5 of Wands, and one more obstacle. And it's just to see, are you going to fall? Are you going to give into it? Or are you going to utilize your strength and your power? And so this week, since you are, this reading is about utilizing the tools that you already have. What do you already have? What principles do you live your life by? What do you believe? What motivates you? Who and what inspires you? What God do you trust in? Whatever, all these questions. I got to speak to everybody. I don't know who's listening. This is the time to hold fast to that, to all of that, so that you can stand strong. Not this 5 of Wands is just pettiness. It's just, even if it don't make something bigger than what it is. Even if it is big, it ain't bigger than the strength and the power that's within you. All right. So that is your reading this week, March the 29th through April 4th. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday, March 30th, to be in the running to win our March giveaway. Subscribe to this channel, leave a love offering, click down below to get on my email list so that you can get the astrology and me worksheet. Why I keep saying that. And then go back and listen to the opening intuitive message and get the bonus reading there. And come back to this message throughout the week, because something I say here now can actually make more sense to you as the week goes on. All right. So until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. All right, y'all. So, welcome to the results for card group number 3. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure that you comment your card selection down below by Monday, March 30th, if you want to be in the running to win our March giveaway. This is the last week to get your name in the hat to win the March giveaway. So, you want to make sure that you do that. By March 30th. Also, down below is a link to get on my email list. I'm super excited about that because my email list has been closed for the past year and a half. And so I have reopened it. And when you sign up to receive emails from me, I will immediately send you my astrology and me worksheet. That worksheet helps you to have a deeper understanding of what your sun sign actually means and what your moon sign actually means, and how the two of them are working together to create who you are or to influence who you are. And so you will receive that absolutely free for being on, for signing up for my email list. So make sure that you do that now. Also, once you're on my email list, I will be very soon sending out announcements on how you can work more closely with me. If you have been following me for any length of time, you know on my link, my website link, that all of my personal readings have been taken down. And a lot of the courses and digital products that I had have been taken down so that I could actually focus my work and my intention on those who have very specific intentional spiritual goals, personal goals, or business goals. And so I will be soon announcing some of those opportunities to work with me in order to transform your life for the better. Also, make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Facebook, especially if you're only following me on YouTube, because throughout the week on Instagram and Facebook is where I make announcements and updates on what's going on and just share some helpful tips. So you want to make sure that you are following me there. Also, subscribe to this channel. Thank you to everybody who is already subscribed. I so appreciate y'all, you know, being a part of this channel. Also, give this video a thumbs up because when you do, it actually helps my channel. And then also consider leaving a love offering down below. The link to that to do so is down below. When you leave a love offering, also known as a donation, it's just really a sign or you showing your appreciation of this work. No donation is too small or too big. And so they are all greatly appreciated. And lastly, if you did skip ahead, then you guess what you missed? You missed my opening intuitive message, and what I shared there can help you have a deeper understanding of what I'm about to share here. So after you listen to this, rewind the video, go back to and listen to the opening intuitive message, where I also did a bonus reading in addition to the intuitive message that I shared. All right. So this week, well, before I go into that, this yellow candle has been rolling around. Anyway, yellow. All right, since it wants to roll around, yellow. A yellow candle is usually something that is lit, or one that is lit when you are wanting to enhance your joy, your pleasure, your creativity, and just joy for life. It adds, it enhances that joyous energy. And so if you're trying to increase the amount of joy that you have in your life or your creativity, then it really helps with that. And I paired it with the citrine stone because citrine is one of those stones that really helps with creativity, with joy, with increasing your abundance. If you're in business, it can be one of those stones that really help to draw more business your way. But all in all, this yellow candle as well as the citrine, they're like that solar energy. You know, when we think about the sun, you know, especially after it's been cloudy or dreary for a long period of time, the sun gives us the light and the vitamins and the everything that we need just to feel joyous, you know. So these two are very useful even if you had a slump in your life or a depressive side or, you know, sad time or whatever. These yellow candle and a citrine is what you want to work with. But even if you haven't experienced that and you just want to increase your level of joy and creativity and abundance, then again, yellow candle and citrine. So you know what I always tell you to do if you want to know more about this stone, citrine, make sure that you Google citrine. So this week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of as it relates to the tools that you already have within you that can empower you. It's about coming into yourself and rising to the occasion. This is a time about recognizing what's already within you and making good use of it. And so the card on the bottom is your general wisdom and guidance where you are now. The card that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you at this time. Ooh. So you have the Page of Pentacles, and it is crossed by the Three of Cups. Okay, this is interesting. The Page of Pentacles. And it is, and it is crossed by the Three of Cups. Yeah. Okay. There are two ways of looking at this reading. One second. The Page of Pentacles, when I see it, typically indicates a time of planning, strategizing. It's about knowing that you're about to enter into a new phase or a new prosperous time, but you're not there yet. So it's a matter of planning and preparing for it. So I'm gonna just say this, and I don't know that it applies to everybody, but this certainly applies to someone. The Three of Cups that is crossing it, the Three of Cups on its good end can indicate a time of celebration with your friends, celebrating, maybe you've had an achievement and everybody's coming together to sip wine and celebrate, right? But on its lower end, it can indicate a time of when you realize that everybody who's celebrating you and smiling in your face and sipping wine with you and claiming that they celebrate you, maybe is not. Maybe, everybody who you thought was for you, for your growth and development, or for your achievements and your goals and whatnot, perhaps are not as much. And so I feel that some of you, and again, this isn't for everyone, but for some of you, this Page of Pentacles is recognizing a time when you have to walk alone. If you notice, this person is holding their pentacle, their coin, their gold coin, and their plans, and they're looking out towards the field, or they're looking out ahead of them to see, what needs to be done, and they're planning for what lies ahead, right? And they're doing it alone. And so some of you may have felt that you had a team, that you had a support system, that you had people who believed in you, only to find out that they really don't, or only to find out that some of them were actually working against you, and you having to come into the realization that it's not to say that nobody is for you, or that you have to get rid of everybody, but just knowing that you really have to walk this thing, your vision and your dreams out yourself. And no dream is accomplished by one person by themselves. Everybody needs help, right? Everybody needs support. Everybody needs people who believe in them. But sometimes we trust too heavily in other people. We depend too heavily, not necessarily trust, let me say it differently. We depend too heavily on other people. Like, we think we can't achieve our dreams. We can't get to where we want to get to unless we have this person or that person. And because this week we are looking at how to come into your own, how to rise to the power that's already within you. This is a week where you are probably being challenged to do that. And it's not even so much about the other people. It's not even so much about even if you are the person, someone who is experiencing some sort of fake friends or fake support and whatever. That's really neither here nor there. Certain things are only happening so that you can see your own power. That's really what it comes down to. So it's not even, don't even waste your time or energy being upset about what other people are doing or not doing for you, because really it's like, I feel like the universe, God, however you want to define it, is saying, but this is your time to know your own strength, to know who you are. You've been having these dreams, you've been having these desires, you've been having these wishes, you've been wanting to do X, Y, and Z for so long, but you just haven't believed that you had the power to do so. So now, if we remove the circle that you thought was going to, do it with you as a team or support you in your vision, and they're not there, will you continue forward? The Page of Pentacles is a youthful kind of energy. It's like somebody knows that they have plans, they know they want to move forward, but they don't quite know how just yet. So it's about planning. It's about reading the books that you need. It's about getting the tutorials that you need. It's about getting the guidance that you need, but also being very focused. Being very focused and being, I don't want to say determined, that might be too harsh of a word, but maybe determination, being focused, being determined, being unswayed, and laying out your plans for where you want to go, because nobody can support you. I feel like for some of you, it's not even so much that your circle is fake or you got fake supporters or people, that might be the case for some of you. But what I really feel like is that you've been talking about it for so long. You've been dreaming about it. You've been saying you're going to do this and that. You've been saying that you're this person, this kind of person, you're going to do this and that. And everybody's just been waiting on you. So they might not really believe in you that much anymore because you don't believe in yourself. You haven't fully moved forward. You've just been talking about it or saying we're going to do this and that. But really, nobody can believe. You can't expect anybody to put more into your dream and to invest in your dream, whether that is in money, but also whether that's in time and in supportive investment and encouragement investment or whatever. You can't expect anybody to be happier for your vision than you. And if you're not going for it, you can't be mad because other people aren't as supportive or happy as you would like for them to be. As you move forward, as you actually make real action towards wherever it is you're going, that's where you get the support. That's when people will believe in you and celebrate you and cheer you on because they see you moving. And so because this week we're looking into how you need to come into your own, especially during a time of crisis or pandemic or whatever's going on, is that you still have to live as though, make plans as though you see things turning around. We will not always be in a pandemic state. We will not always have an economic downturn. We will not always be, going through the things that we're going through at this exact time. So you have to plan for how you are coming out of this, how you are moving forward, how you are building your life, how, and stand in that power. And that's where that support and that celebration of you will come. So let's see what Goddess is speaking to you this week. I believe her name is pronounced Ayn, but I'm not quite sure. If y'all been watching me any length of time, you know I hate mispronouncing the goddesses' names. Because the goddesses are like women in general. We like to be represented well. But she represents adaptability. So I'm going to read two messages from her to you. Excuse me. The first is her empowerment message to show how you can be empowered at this time, or what will empower you at this time. And then the second is her alignment message, which guides you on what to do should you come out of alignment, okay? So her empowerment message is, when you set intentions, when you've set intentions for how your life could be different, better, fuller, juicier, prosperous, creative, more meaningful, etc., adaptability is the power you'll need to rely on. The old familiar you, the one who is used to your comfort zone, is now invited to dance in uncharted territory. The questions to ask yourself as you step into the unknown are, who do I need to become in order to experience this life I desire? What in me needs to shift so I can welcome this amazing abundance? Know you have everything you need right now. You are aligned with the Celtic shapeshifter goddess Ayn, who could move effortlessly between our world and the world of fairy. Her power of adaptability is sparkling within you. Magic is afoot. And her alignment message to you is sometimes you find yourself unable to respond to life's challenges because you are holding on too tightly to an image of how things should be. It's hard to adapt to changing circumstances when you are so connected to familiar conditions or an old identity. Or you may be too attached to the form of your desired outcome, and when things go in a different direction, you resist. Have no fear. Instead, love these changes and be open and curious. Call on the goddess Ain to embody her power. Remember, she could effortlessly shift from one form to another and move between worlds without consequence. Trust that whatever you're bumping up against will dissolve through your willingness to simply be with what is and allow the magic to reveal itself. Adapt. Adapt, shapeshift, change, go with the flow. If you are, she spoke about being so immovable because of your comfort zone, and perhaps your circle or your friends or family who you thought or think should be supporting you and encouraging you and holding your hand and boosting you up all the time is your comfort zone. And you are being encouraged to step into your own power. It's not to say that they won't be there for you or support you, or that you won't create a new circle of support, but just know that all of that you may be seeking from other people only comes when you step into your own power, when you are fearlessly and confidently walking in your own power. Even when you don't know fully what to do, start planning, start learning, start growing, start strategizing so that you can know what steps to take. And just by doing that, you will gain the support and love and encouragement that you need. All right. So that is it for your reading this week, March 29th through April 4th, I believe. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday, March 30th, if you want to be in the running to win our March giveaway. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel, leave a love offering, and definitely click the link down below to get on my email list so that you can receive the Astrology and Me worksheet absolutely free. All right, so until we speak again, as always, I'm wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. All right, that is it for our reading this week, March 29th through April 4th. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday, March 30th if you want to be in the running to win our March giveaway. This is the last week to get your name in the hat for our March giveaway. Also, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked or enjoyed it, and also leave a love offering. The link to do that is down below in the description box. If this reading or this channel in general has blessed you in any kind of way, make sure that you get on my email list to get a copy of the Astrology and Me worksheet absolutely free to have a deeper understanding of your sun, moon, and moon signs. And also make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Facebook for weekly and daily tips and updates. All right, so that is it for the reading this week. As always, thanks for watching, and I'm wishing you all so much peace and love.